people want Vontaze Burfict wanted dead or alive.
Imprisoned.
In prison, yeah. He is just the worst. He is literally just the worst. And it's interesting that like all of the Steelers are saying, you know, what did he do? What did he do with he knocked out Antonio Brown, then he pointed at Juju and said, "You're next." And I know Ben Roethlisberger was freaking out over that. Other players were saying he needed to be suspended, but other people in you know, other media people are saying that too, not just outside the Steelers. So, you know, it's pretty pathetic that TJ Watt can viciously tackle somebody's shoelace and get $20,000, but that guy is intentionally trying to injure someone, and who knows if he'll even get fined at all.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's bad when, you know, ex-players are starting to speak out. I have no problem with the point, and I have no problem with the words. It's more the actions for me. And he's proven over the years that he's intentionally trying to hurt people. I'm even questioning if he's intentionally trying to, you know, end people's careers at this point.
Oh, totally.
I mean, it's helmet to helmet. It's all kinds of stuff after the play. I mean, hits on defenseless receivers. I mean, it's getting to the point where guys are calling him out. Ex-players are calling him out. And even they are saying look, Dante Stallworth killed a guy, and he's saying that Vontaze Burfict, you know, needs to be suspended. Come on.
It's true.
Killed a guy, and Vontaze Burfict needs to be suspended. So let's all, you know, take a second to think about this.
Maybe they should ask Ray Lewis what he thinks about it.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I think the pointing thing, I don't really have much. Again, there's a lot of trash talk. I'm sure people have heard and seen worse, but I think his track record with his actions actually going after people, or what has maybe made Ben say, hey, like, he's not just saying, like, you know, I'm going to hit you hard, I'm going to get you next play, and that kind of thing. He's actually intentionally trying to knock people out of the game. And that hit against Brown, I don't even, how did he not get a penalty? He came up and you could see his follow through with his shoulder, like he was shrugging something off of, you know, the top of his shoulder. And it was just like, you know, intentionally hitting a guy who was being tackled by two other guys. And then he hurts his own guy as well. I mean, he's just, even with the other suspensions he's had, he's just out of control.
Here's a crazy thing about just, you know, you say, well, why didn't they call it? It's because these officials are human. And it's ridiculous. You have a bunch of, well, hey, let's call it what it is. A bunch of old guys running around there that during the week they're a bank president or a lawyer or something like that. And now you expect them to keep up with the best athletes on the planet, and you expect them to watch every little thing. And the thing is, every little thing is, you know, it's like, well, how did he miss that? You know, you could see that. It's like, well, yeah, after the replays you could see it. Like, you know, I think they're just humans that are doing the best they can, but the crazy thing is, with technology, we know exactly what's happening. It's like, why don't you just use the technology? You get some drones out there. You can know exactly what's going on. You can review every play if you want and know in a few seconds. You saw in a few seconds after what happened. It's like, well, oh my God, look what he did. So, like, why? Just use the technology.
You know, look, it's amazing to me that all these 60-some-year-old, you know, like you said, judges and lawyers whose vision may be failing, how they can see all this illegal motion and all these other penalties every single play, but yet they can't. The one guy you should be focusing on, maybe, who just came back from a suspension, who's a notorious dirty player, you can't see all this stuff that everybody else is seeing? Come on.
Yeah, when I saw that happen, right away, I mean, that was, I know with certain plays you're going to say, all right, that was either ticky-tacky, I can say I missed it, but that one there, right when he hit him, I was like, oh, man, it looked like he might have gone him with the shoulder, and the replay confirmed it. But right away, I mean, the two guys were bringing him down, and, Burfict's the one coming in as the third guy. He's going after someone's ankle, leg, trying to take him out, or in that case, he, is going for AB's head again, and yeah, just, those, I don't get why that one specifically wasn't called.
Look, I agree. If you play football, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you're getting me all fired up.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
There's a difference between hurting somebody and injuring somebody. Wanting to hurt somebody on the football field and cause pain and injure somebody and put them out for games or weeks or a career.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is how do the other players whether the league does this or does something or not. I think I saw that he was fined almost $4 million and suspended a total of 16 games or something like that. I put together a clip of I think there was about 10 clips in there of him just intentionally trying to injure people.
Yeah,
and other people have done that too. Just highlight reels of him just going after people. If I'm another player, I'd be like, no, I refuse. Do something about this. This guy is a threat to my livelihood. Get rid of him. I don't understand. I don't understand how it's allowed.
Yeah, it's crazy. It made me laugh too that he was calling out Juju. I know Juju lit him up last year, but he's essentially calling out a child. That made me laugh. Because he's what?
Abuse.
Yeah, is he 20 still? I don't even think he's 21, or did he turn 21? I don't know.
I think he's 21.
He's 21 now, but
yeah. Call
and there's guys, there's guys like this that, they hurt people and they love to cause pain on the football field, and guys that aren't on their team, hate them, but if they were on their team, they love them. But I think this is just this Burfict. I think it's gotten to the point where he's out there trying to, ruin people's careers, like you said, and ruin their livelihood. And that's why we finally see guys like Joe Thomas and Dante Stallworth and, other ex-NFL players, speaking up and saying this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think Trey Essex was another one. And I saw his quote where he had a respect. He didn't like playing against certain Ravens. He mentioned Ray Lewis and Suggs and those guys because they were tough to play against, but there was a little more of that respect factor. But, I think Burfict's taken it too far. I do think at this point, as much as Steeler fans love the hard-nosed football, it's costing the team way too much, and with penalties and suspensions and stuff, it's just he's gone way over the line with that.
Mark, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's with the Ravens and the Steelers. There was always at the end, come Monday or come Tuesday, there was always that respect. But I feel like with Burfict, whether it was between Suggs or Lewis or Ed Reed back at, but with Burfict, there's no respect at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're trying to actually take someone out and like we were saying, injure them, hurt their career, you lose a lot of respect. You don't have respect for that person, so.
He's Tom Wilson, the exact same kind of person. It's basically Tom Wilson of the NFL.
We need
the other, the other thing that talk around the Steelers is, should they trade for a cornerback like that Patrick Peterson of Arizona? I've seen some people say, yeah, you have to. If you get a good cornerback, you basically that might be the missing piece to the defense, because Artie Burns is an absolute disaster. But then at what price? What they want draft picks, how much of a draft pick? I even saw that they might want a first round draft pick or something like that. What do you guys think? Do you think they should try to trade?
Yeah, but I just think it's just so tough for, NFL teams to make trades. I know there's been a couple in the past, they've changed the deadline around, but I'm not really familiar with how much cap room the Steelers have and how much of a cap hit Peterson would be. But heck yeah, I mean, I'd trade a first round if it was possible with the cap in a heartbeat. I'd trade a first round pick for Patrick Peterson.
The funny thing is, I think because of Le'Veon Bell's jackassery, I think he's freed up enough space for them to get someone like.
It's even funnier. Yeah, I agree with trying to trade
time to be alive.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's something that I think is not easy. Like we were discussing, it's something that doesn't happen too often. But I mean, it seems like a missed opportunity if they don't. I mean, they have a gap there that they could easily replace. I wouldn't mind using a second, maybe first round pick for him because you have an established person who I believe is signed for 2 more years after this at a decent price, I think, like $11 million or something, which is about what Hayden makes. And, even if you do that, let's say you trade picks for him and then you trade Bell for picks, then it's like you're trading Bell for Peterson and it's a wash. You get your picks back. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I mean, you get a guy like him there. I mean, that could help a lot with the, whatever passing issues that the linebacking core may have with the passing game. You can disguise that or hide that a lot more when you have Hayden and Peterson back there would be just, phenomenal.
I mean, I would trade a first and wouldn't even look back if there's even a possibility, if the deal's on the table. I mean, at the end of the day, where the Steelers are picking and with their track record, are they going to get somebody better in the first round?
Or second, yeah.
Than next year than Patrick Peterson? I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah, I'd like them to be aggressive, do a little more what the Penguins have been doing for the last decade or so.
I mean, Big Ben ain't sticking around that much longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Peterson is the next basically 2.5 years. That's basically Ben's lifespan. That's basically how Ben's whole career is. He's lucky if he plays another 2.5 years. So it's perfect.
Lifespan. I was going to say lifespan. Joe, come on. I mean, I don't want him to die once he leaves the
Steelers. They take him in the back. And it's like a horse. Yeah.
It's like if you don't win the triple crown, it's over.
You're glue. So yeah, we'll see. Never a dull moment. Any second now, Le'Veon Bell can send him an emoji, and the world will go into a sales.
Exactly. One emoji may change the entire Steelers season.
Yeah, seriously. Is there a trade me emoji or something?
Yeah, right. Or don't trade me, because I wonder if he's going to come in intentionally after the trade deadline now because of those rumblings.
That's what they're saying, that he doesn't want to be traded. I mean, it's really all up to him because even if the Steelers work out a trade with someone, Bell has to agree to come in and get signed. And so for some reason he doesn't.
It makes no sense. If he's so unwilling to be traded, then why does he want to hit the free agent market so bad?
Exactly.
Either way, he's a free agent next year. So and this year's pretty much done for him because he's going to take another 2 to 4 weeks if he's lucky to be ready in shape and everything.
Yeah, and that was the other story as well. He didn't come in Monday. He was supposed to come in, and
who knows?
Come on, just with the emergence of James Conner. People are saying, "Well, he overplayed his hand and stuff." Like, well, actually, it would probably help Bell because Bell doesn't want to be overused. So now when he does come in, they're probably going to want to play Conner more anyway. And I think the team wants Conner to play more. But it's like, well, here's the guy that's actually been here with us and practiced with us and playing with us and actually trying to win, not like this jagoff that is playing on his jet ski. Sinking into the ocean.
That's his training. Sitting on a jet ski.
Yeah, I think his teammates took it kind of personally. I think if Lev Bell would have laid low a little bit, kind of stuck on, hung off the social media, and I think his linemen especially, he told him he was going to be there certain times, and he didn't show up, and all these pictures are surfacing from TMZ and on Twitter and social media. I think they kind of took that a little personally.
Well, that's the thing is he just